Welcome back to Data Science with Sam, the podcast where we explore how data science and AI are reshaping industries and careers. I'm your host, Sam, and today we're diving deep into one of the most rapidly evolving applications of artificial intelligence, marketing. Our guest today is Egbavwe Pela, founder and CEO of InsightRx, where they specialize in transforming healthcare and pharmaceutical marketing through AI-powered data analytics and outcome-based measurement. With over 20 years of experience in media, data, and strategy, he has developed innovative tools like the IMRX Impact Index and focus on helping brands make smarter investments by connecting reach, quality, and impact in ways that drive measurable business outcomes. Egg is here to share their insights on how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the marketing landscape, particularly in the healthcare and pharmaceutical marketing sector. Before I jump in, if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps other data enthusiasts and AI enthusiasts find the podcast. Now let's get started. Egg, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to dive into your journey and insights about AI in marketing.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us about your background in traditional marketing and media area, and what was the pivotal moment that made you decide to transition into the AI space?
Yes, I've had a very atypical journey to kind of get me to this point, but as I tell it, probably not so atypical. I actually went to college. I went for undergrad for computer science, not marketing, not media, because my mom told me go into computers, you'll make a lot of money. And so, as a typical Nigerian woman, when she realized I was not going to be a doctor or a lawyer, it was either engineer or what have you. So I started in computer science. Halfway through the program, I realized I did not want to be in computer science, but there was no way I was switching my major at that point. And so I got an internship doing some tech work at a web design company that was primarily selling via telemarketing. And at that time is really when SEO and paid search really started getting big. And I was like, you know what? Like, we're a website company. We should do SEO. We should get traffic from paid search. So talked to the owner and to kind of give me a test budget to do it. I lost a lot of money, but learned a lot. I mean, at that time, I remember buying myself an SEO for Dummies book and a paid search for Dummies book. And that was really the first time I really learned about marketing, digital marketing, and fell in love. A couple years after that, I went to industry, started working with for-profit college, did that for a while, and then kind of parlayed that into a few different things. And ended up in healthcare years later and have fell in love with kind of healthcare and media and marketing and all the things. And then specifically, the pivotal moment for AI was I had a background primarily in performance marketing was kind of my thing. And so in getting to healthcare, there wasn't a ton of performance marketing happening. It was really more brand awareness, but many of the clients were asking for performance type metrics, like what's performing, what looks good, what's working, all those kind of optimizations that you would get traditionally in a performance type environment. And so for me, about a little over a year ago, I was on my way back from a trip, and I sat next to a mentor friend of mine now, Offer, and he's big into AI, and he started asking me about it. Hey, do you use it? Can it help you? And I was like, yeah, I use it for a little bit here and there. He was like, what about for work? I was like, not really. I don't know how it would work, if it would be impactful or what have you. And he was like, "What problems do you have?" And so I started walking through some of my pain points and challenges. It was like, "Try AI, I can do this." And so on the plane, I got online, started just playing with ChatGPT, asking a bunch of questions, used ChatGPT to create a bunch of dummy sample sets, and it worked. I was floored. And so at that moment was really kind of the beginning of my foray into AI, thus being a founder of InsightsRx.
Cool. That's a fascinating transition story. I bet you would never forget about that flight journey, and
Oh,
kudos
never.
to your friend who actually got into this. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with our listeners. Now, you're obviously deep in the media space, right? So In your opinion, what are the top three ways AI is currently revolutionizing media and marketing? And if you can, walk us through a specific campaign where AI made a significant difference, kind of just a general example.
Yeah, so I would say the top 3/4 areas is probably data and optimization, insights in general, and then speed. For us as an organization, AI has been so impactful for everything that we've been doing in order to get us to this point, both from a development standpoint as well as a actual work standpoint, the things that we're doing, right? And so a use case has been, I'll give you a use case specifically that kind of wraps up insights and speed. For us in pharma and healthcare marketing, generally it's 6 to 9 months to kind of get some optimization reports that is outcomes based, right? And so did this campaign work for script lips or the HCPs or patients that we're targeting? We've been able to cut that time down to about 3 weeks. So something that takes 6 to 9 months traditionally, we're getting to about 3 to 4 weeks. Actually 2 weeks, but 3 weeks to be safe right now for this recording. So the speed that we're able to get some of this data based on some of the AI that we've been able to create to kind of help spin up the insights and the reports has been amazing. And then talking about like insights, real-time insights, because now we're able to reduce that time to value in getting them insights. We were running a campaign recently for our clients, specifically around gout. And the campaign initially was really focused and targeting, and we're getting a lot of traffic and traction coming from the Northeast. And throughout the campaign, our tools were able to see that, hey, there's a spike in new patient starts coming from the Carolinas. And we were able to quickly pivot and generate additional impressions for both well, that was actually a DTC campaign for the DTC campaign, and then generate additional starts over the course of the next few months. So in real time, we're able to find an insight, make an optimization, and affect real world prescription behavior based on that insight that we're able to generate and the speed that we're able to get it through our use of AI.
That's fascinating. It seems like the example you just mentioned, it's really illustrate the transformative power of AI in terms of driving insights and analytics in the marketing campaign, and also like helping you accelerate your optimization practice in quicker manner. It's a great lift, like from 6 to 7 months to down to 2 3 weeks. That's literally helpful for so many marketing companies and agencies out there to drive their marketing campaign and even helping their clients to get better insights in a quicker fashion. So thank you for sharing that. I'm pretty sure there are some listeners out there who are from the marketing agency, especially in the healthcare area, are making some notes about how they can use AI to optimize their marketing campaigns. So please do so. Now, moving on to the next question. When you look across the marketing functions today, which areas are you seeing benefit most from AI integration right now? You already touched upon that in your previous statement, but if you just go a little deep down, like, the areas like either content creation or audience segmentation or even media buying, where are you seeing the biggest wins in terms of AI implementation?
Yeah, for us, it's probably the 2 areas. One is it's something not something I touched on before, but probably content generation. The ability to scale our content generation, everything from the media assets itself to the presentation decks to podcast and video and editing and everything that kind of
Yeah.
content kind of fully encompasses has been a game changer for us in AI. Something that would normally take a team or a team of people or one person months or weeks or what have you, you can do in hours, right? And so just the amount of content and the detail and speed that you can really generate a lot of this stuff has been unbelievable. And then again, I'll go back to kind of optimization and speed for us being an insight specific company, that has been our whole thing, right? And so our ability to optimize in real time and that speed to optimization, speed to value has been key for everything that we're doing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I could definitely resonate with your thoughts here because, especially as a digital content creator like myself, I could tell that the AI literally helps me writing some of the contents, coming up with scripts. Even it helps me, accelerate the social media post. I know a lot of people are using AI agents to post stuff on social medias, and simultaneously, and then people literally using digital content creation. I mean, it's like digital content creation goes to a different level right now with AI and all this new multi LLM models coming up. I was using that model called VO3 that day, like generating some videos, and that Nano Banana. I'm not sure you used it or not, but those are like some next level stuff that we're seeing in terms of AI generated contents right now. So
Definitely.
totally agree with you there. Now I'm going to shift focus to kind of the challenges and the balance section. So it seems like AI bringing a lot of tremendous opportunities in the media and marketing area, and also I imagine it's not all like a smooth sailing, right? There's some challenges, some roadblocks, something definitely there in terms of implementing AI in marketing. So what's your take on that? And if you're facing some sort of like a roadblocks, how do you balance that automation with maintaining authenticity, human connection, as well as steering that innovation?
Yeah. So great question. I think for me, it's really about where and how to scale. In running a business, trying to figure out what opportunity, what moments to truly insert and use AI is extremely pivotal. And so trying to figure out where to insert it, how to scale it. Is it going to be a product offering? Is it going to be internal? Is it going to be client facing? Ends up being key. And for us, we spent we spent a lot of time on products and AI things that we had to then quickly cut because we're like, all right, this is not going to be client facing. It's not ready. It's not going to be ready. In some cases, we know the AI is changing and increasing so quickly that it's not
Mhm.
worth it to build out where we were going to build out because we know it's improving so much we can kind of get the end product. And so trying to figure that out has really kind of been our balance and our challenge to figure out where we want to use it, where we can kind of make it client facing or not. What is the product going to be? How is that going to look like? If do we want to launch something knowing that what we truly want to launch is going to be ready in 6 months, right? And so trying to figure out that balance of kind of where and how to scale for production has been kind of our biggest area of watch out, something that we're consistently keeping our eye on to just ensure that we are being good stewards of the technology and good stewards of our business.
Totally agree with you, Egg, because that balance is so crucial. So now, for our listeners who might be marketers, or might be working in the marketing, media space, and they're just starting their AI journey. So, what are some best practices you would recommend to them? And on the flip side, what common mistakes do you see people making in their early adoption phase that those listeners should be aware of?
Yeah. So um I would say start with the
Mhm.
end in mind. I think that is such a key tenet for everything that we should be doing in life, right? If you're going into it, understand, especially if you're doing it for work or something like that or a business, what are you solving for? Just jumping into it to do something cool, although is good, is not solving your business needs. It's not solving your work needs, right? So I would say start with the end in mind and work there. If you say, hey, I need to save 1 hour a day because of X, Y, and Z, then that's your goal, right? That's your end in mind. And in those scenarios, I don't mind taking a week to solve a problem that I know will get me an hour a day back in my time, right? And so
Yep.
start with the end in mind. I think that'll help you kind of focus in where to go, what you're doing, things of that nature. In terms of mistakes that I think people make, I think it's really analysis by paralysis. I think so many people are scared of it, unsure if they're using it right, unsure what to do. And I think in those cases, you've just got to go, just got to get in the tool, figure it out. Don't be discouraged. I think one of the things that people do with AI is overcomplicate it. By the time you get in and you start asking prompts and doing various things, you hear people use different jargon, different buzzwords that sound like, oh, I must not be using it right. But 9 times out of 10, you are, right? I think we overestimate or overcomplicate this technology that was built to simplify the way we do things. And if we keep that in mind, there's really no wrong way of doing it. And the one thing I tell people all the time is if you're not sure, ask the AI. like literally. How should I use you? I'm trying to do this. What do you think I should type? What do you think I should use? And ask the AI, and it'll help you solve some of those issues and help you get comfortable with it.
Thank you. Those are really practical insights. And I'm pretty sure some of our listeners are making note of how they can start their AI journey. And I do agree with you that it's not about just thinking about AI as a fancy tool, but first think about what kind of solution you want to like address through AI and through the genetic power of AI, right? So we can, and I think it goes back to that nail and hammer situation, right? So you probably have an AI hammer, but you also need to look for a nail, otherwise there is no certain like effectiveness of AI. So now moving on to the next question, looking ahead, how do you think the role of marketing professionals will evolve as AI becomes more prevalent? And what skills should current marketers be developing to stay relevant in this changing landscape?
Yeah. So I would say efficiency is going to be the name of the game. I think AI is going to drastically increase our efficiency and our output and our ways to go about business day in and day out. And then in terms of skills, I think we are at a tipping point in our industry and media where for so long we've kind of trusted, so let me say it this way. There's this stat that continues to go around, and I think it increases every 2 years, but I've heard it for a while now, but I saw it again recently, popped up, talked about 95% of the world's data was created the last 2 years. I remember somebody told me that stat like 10 years ago, and here we are
Yep.
repeating the
Big
same.
data, right?
Exactly. And it's only going to increase, right? Like the amounts of data that we have is just going to increase. And we talk about our media campaigns and everyone, especially in pharma, is saying, I want data, I want my data, I want my data, all the things. We're getting to a point where people are inundated with data and we have not enough people that knows what the data says and how to use that data. And so I think like if I would say like specific skills that marketers should really start learning is how to understand, interpret all this desperate data. Is it disparate, various? I'll say various. All these various data sources that you have at your fingertips, how do you make them make sense? And whoever is able to understand the various data points and use them for your own good, whether it's optimizing, producing insights, creating better plans, being more strategic with the way you go about your business, is going to win, right? And so I think the AI, as we go back to AI a bit, AI is going to help with that. AI is going to be able to take large amounts of data and help you distill it and understand it a little bit more, right? And so going back to the efficiency and then specifically the skills is your ability to understand large data sets quickly is really where we're going to get to. And I think as marketers, we need to kind of double down and dig deeper on.
Yeah, no, love that. Like you mentioned that, the data volume is growing, exponentially, like, and how you can get the meaning out of it. And I would say the human cognitive intelligence is not enough. So that's why probably we need to use AI. So you can literally churning those data and getting insights out of it. That probably not possible for like a human analyst or a marketer or anyone in the marketing area. And I think that's a really great way to put it, like what kind of skill set that we definitely need to develop to leverage AI to maximum power and gaining insights out of the data. So
Yeah.
thanks Egg for the insight, for your perspectives on that. Moving ahead from a future vision perspective, are there any emerging technologies that you're particularly excited about in the marketing field, especially some sort of an AI driven technologies that's going to take the AI marketing or the pharmaceutical or healthcare marketing to the next level?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say watch
I mean,
out
it's kind
for.
of a tough question. We
No,
don't have a
no,
crystal
that's
ball.
that's an easy question. I've
Okay.
been waiting for this question, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, cool.
I would say watch out for a small startup called InsightsRx. I think companies like ours over the next 2, 3 years are really gonna
Mhm.
be poised to be the leader in AI and in pharma marketing or marketing in general. And the real reason why is because, like I was saying earlier, I think people are getting tired of kind of the media going into this black box that nobody knows what's going on. Is it working? Is it not working? All the things. And we are getting to a point where marketers need, want, and have to report on the actual insights. And so, knowing that you got a 3 to 1 ROI or a 10 to 1 ROI on a campaign, albeit great, what's next? What's the what's the so what coming from that? How do we optimize? How do you do what's next? How do we report? How do we report up? Because 1 month you have 10 to 1 ROI, the next month you're losing money, right? And so your ability and marketers' ability and the tools as they develop ability to find what's working and be able to convey that to the powers that be, being able to strategically think, be able to pivot and optimize and do all the things that we need to do as marketers in real time is going to be the ones that's poised to win, right? And so I don't think we can just blindly say, hey, the black box got it. I know everything's going to go up and to the right forever. In our ability to distill that information and produce actionable insights from that information is going to be key over the next 2 to 3 years. As the AI and as the technologies continue to evolve, organizations and tools that is able to solve that specific problem, I think is where we're going to where I don't want to say we, I don't want this to be an Insights RX promo video, but it's truly where companies are going to change the game and marketers are really going to start leaning on and really uncovering those deeper insights and optimizations in real time through the use of AI and technologies.
No, definitely. Thanks for the perspective. I feel like this AI-driven optimization seems to be the future vision, and companies who are going to be leading the charge in that case will be at the forefront of healthcare or pharmaceutical marketing. So, great way to put it. Thanks, Egg, for sharing that. For our listeners, just check out the podcast from description where you will find information about Egg and his organizations are in the healthcare marketing space. Now moving on to section which kind of like favorite of mine, because I also wanted to see what kind of advice you have for the newbies in the AI and marketing space, because the future vision is very exciting. There's so many things going on. AI is coming large at it in a marketing space, compared to the other industries. And I know our audience includes both seasoned professionals and newcomers to the field. So what's your advice for seasoned marketing professional who might be hesitant about embracing AI? And what would you tell young professionals who are just entering into the marketing field today, and how they can start leveraging AI?
Yeah. So twofold, and then I will elaborate on the first one. But I would say start small. Start small is the first one, and the second one, watch YouTube, watch videos, watch people talk about
Mhm.
AI, how they use it, and see if you're able to generate any ideas for yourself. But to elaborate a little bit on the start small, I think starting small, using it for your everyday life will pivot you into using it for work. For me, I remember my wife, one of her first instances in early use of AI was in we were on our way to the airport and she was having an issue or something happened. I can't remember the details of it, but she had a bad experience and she wanted to write an angry letter to United, and she was frustrated and she was like, well, I can't write it. I'm not even having the time. The kids were going crazy in the background, all the things. I don't want to sit on hold. I don't want to talk to anybody, but I don't have the time to write the letter. And so she was spinning and upset about the whole thing. And I was like, ask ChatGPT to do it. I was like, tell what your frustrations are, tell them what happened. And she was like, but I have to type it all in. I was like, just talk to it. Put it on speaker, just push the button, have the conversation with it, and have you type you up a letter. And so what was going to end up being something that took 2 to 3 weeks before she ended up sitting down, thinking about it, collecting her thoughts, all the things. She was able to draft an entire letter to United within minutes, and we got all the points and all the things from it, right? So I would just say start small, find specific use case or problems that you're having in your everyday life, whether it's work or personal. Ask ChatGPT, ask Gemini, ask Cloud, whatever you're going to use, what it thinks or how you can help, and see what happens. And all of those small use cases will build into something, and you'll start to really see kind of how you can use it and fit it into your everyday life.
Well, that's a great advice for all the listeners here because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you're using, where you're using AI, but at some point in the day, you got to start small and see if it is something, making changes in your life, whether in your professional or in your personal life. Thanks for sharing that short story about how AI kind of was used by your wife and it kind of helped her going through that, mental anxiety and I helped her to write that later, which probably should have written that, but maybe that would come across in a different way and AI kind of helping her to kind of get through that stage. So thanks for sharing that personal experience. So now as we wrap up, if you could give just one piece of advice to marketing leaders about AI adoption, what would it be? And where can our listeners connect with you to follow your AI marketing journey? Because I'm pretty sure some of the listeners out there would love to stay connected with you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. I would say my one piece of advice, and I hope you caught this throughout this conversation, is try it, try everything. As you're listening to podcasts like Data Science with Sam, or you're watching YouTube videos, or somebody at the office water cooler virtually or in person happens to mention an AI agent. Let me not say AI agent because I know people get nervous about what some of these things are. If they mention anything with AI in it and it's a tool or a service, just try it. You never know what you will gravitate to, what tool you may like versus another one. So I would just say try it, try everything. One of the things I was saying earlier was I am okay with spending a week figuring something out, knowing it's going to save me time later. I mean that wholeheartedly. And I think in the curiosity and in the trying and in the thinking, that's how you're going to continue to, let me not say continue, that's how you're going to start to expand your mind. And that's how you're really going to begin this adoption of AI and figuring out how to use things. And we all, and the one thing I will say for AI specifically, and the goal of AI is it's meant to be efficient. And in this world, and I'm not sure where your listeners are, but I know at least for our US listeners that are in everything now. We're busy. We've got a million things. If your calendar is anything like mine, you've got competing meetings and all of the things that we kind of have going on. AI is meant to make your life more efficient. And if you're able to save 30 minutes here, an hour here, whatever it is here and there with AI, then I don't know why you wouldn't want to try it. So I would just say try it, try everything, and go from there. But as far as connecting with me, I'm trying to get more active on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Egg Pela, E-G Pela, P-E-L-A. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Egbavwe Pela. I am the only one, I promise.
That's absolutely fascinating. Thanks, Egg. I mean, yeah, your insights on that curiosity of having that curious mindset is really needed in terms of adopting AI in today's era. Like, it doesn't you don't know even like how AI can be helpful to you. So you have that need to have that curiosity. So thanks, Egg. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you and getting your perspective on how we can implement AI in marketing and also how even you can use AI to make your life better, whether it's professional, personal, doesn't matter. So thanks for your perspective. And for my listeners, I'll definitely share his social media handles in the podcast description. Please go check it out and try to reach out to him and have a conversation about AI. So now to our listeners, just to wrap up, I hope this conversation has given you some practical insights, whether you're a marketer looking to integrate AI or a data scientist working with marketing teams or someone considering a career pivot into the some field, you probably gain some insights and valuable advice from Egg on how you can strive in that area by utilizing AI. Thanks for tuning in to Data Science with Sam. Until next time, keep exploring the intersection of data, AI, and human insight. Egg, thanks once again for joining this session.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.